Hey creative friends, welcome to my channel, and today I'm going to do a video about pantry pests. So the reason I decided to do this video is because I was at our extension office one day and I saw that they had this brochure, and I think this is great. Now this one is specific for Idaho, Oregon, and Washington, and I will put it down. It's the PNW 729. You should be able to access that online. I will look and see if I can find any publications for the different regions because I think that's important, and I'll put as much as I can find in the description box. But this is a super cool guide. The reason I like it is because it's going to help protect your pantry, which is super important. So the way this guy is laid out is it actually has the different pests. It helps you, there's an identification thing. So like right here, it has, are the antenna at least a ½ inch of the entire body? If it's yes, boom, it's cockroach. If it's no, we can move down. Does it have a long snout like this? If it's yes, ooh, it's a weevil. If no, does it have eyebrowed antenna like this? And it shows you. If it's yes, if it's ant. If it goes down, it says, is the body wedge-shaped and or covered with small fuzzy hairs? If it is, then it's a dermestid. I think I'm saying that right. If no, is it reddish-brown in color, approximately 1/8 of an inch long, and pill-shaped? Yes, it's that pesky flower beetle. And if no, it says, is it moth-like? Yes. Then use the dual chart on this side to determine what kind of moth it is. If no, it wants you to get a species of that and take it to your extension office to figure it out. But the cool thing is, it also has juvenile identification, so that you can see if something's like a baby cockroach, or there's the larvae for the dermestid, and then, if I say that right, I never can, and then there's the larvae for the weevil. Also, on the on the back, it will tell you about the pest biologies. So, excuse me, it'll tell you like ants, adults have distinct elbowed antennae. They often nest in and around the home. The adults frequently leave and return for the nesting site and gather food for their colony. We've all had ants, I'm sure. Clothes moths, adults are small insects that commonly infest closets. There's a lot of things you can do in a closet to prevent that. And I use a couple of essential oils that they don't like. Ants don't like things like, I think, cinnamon. You can sprinkle that like in the window track and things like that, and helps prevent things. Clothes moths, they feed on various fabric materials, sometimes carrying around silken cases of full excrement in the fibers. That's nice. Dermestid beetle, adults are mobile. Many species can fly. The larvae, shown at the left, which is that little guy, multiple times leaving behind the cast skins in their food source. That's grody. It goes on and tells you more. Flower beetle, those guys are buggers. I hate them. Adults can live for about a year. They're quite mobile as they search for food and mate, and the larvae have limited mobility. In warmer environment, they can go from egg to adult in as short as 6 weeks. So there's that. Flower moth, these are what we have in the Pacific Northwest. Flower moth, adults are found in and around the pantry, we know. The larvae, which are little caterpillars, are the damaging stage and feed on a wide variety of foods. Larvae cannot chew through packaging, so the eggs are typically laid near a crack or crevice of certain foods in the pantry. So watch for those guys. Cockroaches, you just know. Boy, when we lived in Texas, there were cockroaches that were like huge. They were massive, but they prefer moist, dark, and warm areas. They can move fast and tend to hide. They're mostly active at night. And it goes on to tell us more. And then weevils chew small holes into whole grains and lay their eggs inside, nearly sealed off inside the kernels. Larvae are protected from most outside sources, and they feed from the inside out, unable to move until they pupate, and then emerge as adults, leaving the kernel to mate and lay more eggs in. So those are the information about the most common things that we have in the Pacific Northwest. If you have one for your region, it'll probably have some different kind of critters on there. But then this is cool because it tells you the common diet chart. So things like this, there's a chart key. This is animal hides. Animal hides. So animal hides, pretty much the dermestid beetle. Clothing, the clothes moth and the beetle, and the clothes moth has a star because that's their favorite food. Then there is sugar and common cooking spices, ants, flower beetle, flower moth, and roaches. And I know one time I opened I want to think it was sage at my mom's house. My mom was bad about having things in the back of her pantry that she didn't think about for a long, long time. And one time I took out some, I want to say it was sage, and I opened it up, and it was just like all, I don't know, it was a little beetle. It was bad. Anyway, we got rid of that. And then there's ground or broken grains, ants, the dermestid beetle, flower beetle, and flower moth. It's got stars because that's their favorite food, and roaches, and it goes on, other human foods, and it goes on to tell you. So this is a handy thing to have in your pantry. So if you see a critter, you can grab your little brochure and you can look quickly and figure out what it is and what you can immediately do to eradicate it or mitigate any future issues with it. So like I said, I'll put a link to this or something similar, and I'll see what I can find for the regions of the areas, different regions, and see what I can link there. But if you have any questions or you're having any issues, always contact your county extension office, and you can call, you can look in the phone book or look it up online, your county extension office, and they should have good information for you to help prevent you from having issues in your pantry, because you know we work hard to build those pantries, and you don't want to give it up to these guys, right? So there you have it. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.